to speak your mind. Trust the nation. Talking metal, talking metal, talking metal. Talking metal, talking metal, talking metal.
Hello, all you Rugrats. My name is Mike Patton, and you are watching Talking Metal.
Hey guys.
John, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, Mark, and I am happy that we have PJ Farley with us tonight. Of course, he's from Trixter, and he's got a great new record out, and it's called Accent the Change, and I've been listening to it all day today, and it's very cool. PJ, how are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, PJ. I know you were on the show, I think a number of years ago. My wife actually, I believe, interviewed you and maybe Steve at the very muddy, what was that, the Rock and Food Truck Festival or something. Did you remember that?
The Not So Festivus Festival here.
Yeah. It was a rainy weekend, man. But good to have you back. And yeah, as John said, the new album Accent the Change is out, and man, it sounds good. Yeah, I'm really digging it. It has at times, we hear influences from your past, but I also hear more modern stuff. And I wanted to talk to you about the influences that come onto this record, because it is it's diverse, but it's like at times even like a Foo Fighters maybe vibe I hear, maybe some like 90s alternative, so you are obviously a very diverse guy musically. What are some of your favorite, let's start with songwriters. Who are some of your favorite songwriters?
Well, I mean, obviously the Beatles, Jellyfish.
Wow. Okay. Love Jellyfish.
Huge part of my writing DNA, so to speak. And yeah, I mean, that whole 90s kind of vibe, really stuck with me for some reason. I mean, it's all good stuff. I mean, but there's great stuff in every era of music, but for some reason, the 90s kind of stuck to me in my songwriting style. But yeah, I mean, I listened to everything from the hard rock metal stuff down to, Pete Yorn and Hall & Oates and, everything in between. There's nothing off the table.
And PJ, back in the day when Trixter was getting going, were you at that time also listening to all this other stuff as well?
Yeah. I mean, I was saying, because even growing up as a kid with Kiss, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, Rat, and all that stuff I was listening to, I was also listening to the Anthrax, Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, and that whole kind of upcoming hardcore kind of thing. And I've always run, both extremes.
Right.
So, and then engulfed everything in between too.
So this new album sounds great sonically, and you did it down in Nashville. You said you did a lot of it right before the COVID hit.
I did, I did about 85% of it. Actually, I did one song in Nashville. I did a lot of it in LA, some of it in Michigan, a couple of songs here in Jersey, and I did a song down in Nashville. And it's been over 2 years I've been working on it, and it's been like, okay, do 2 songs, wait 4 months, go do 2 songs, wait 3 months, go do a song or 2 and wait. So it was never like, all right, I'm blocking out a studio and going to, cut the basic tracks now and banging out a record. I didn't really think I didn't know I was doing a record to begin with. I started writing again, and I like to write. And once I finish a song and I have all the parts in my head and everything, I got to get it out of my head before I can really kind of commit to finishing anything else. Like, I got to get it out and done and listen to it and go, all right, I think I did that one right. Let me see if I can do it again.
I like doing it that way, as opposed to writing a bunch of songs, 10 songs, 9 songs, and then going into the studio. Right. But I like it. You got a vision for a song. You want to finish it before you can move to the next song.
Yeah, I got to just kind of clear the hard drive.
Now, you on your last solo album, I think you played everything, but on this solo album, on a couple songs you did everything, but you had another drummer and guitar player working with you.
Yeah, a bunch of different people on this one. Luckily, I was lucky to get Ken Slurcher from Luke Bryan's band. Luke Bryan's drummer. He played on a track. He's my bandmate in Kuarantine with a K with Chris Jericho and Joe McGinnis. Chuck Alkazian's a producer engineer out in Michigan. I worked with on this record a couple songs, and Sahaj, singer for Ra. I did 4 songs with him, and he did a bunch of stuff on 4 songs I did with him. I basically did the bed guitar track, the bass, and the vocals, and I said, "Here's what I hear. You know what to do." And he knew exactly what I needed. So it was great for me to kind of not have the pressure of doing everything myself. A couple of songs I did everything myself, drums top to bottom, but I really don't want to do that. First record I did it out of necessity, but this one I consciously wanted to get some other, hands and feels involved.
Nice.
And the first record
better than me playing, essentially.
Well, you sound great on the stuff you do all yourself too. So
Thanks.
you really don't sell yourself short.
And there seems to be a lot of like personal emotion on this record, even a song like Walking Backwards, which is a great tune, by the way. I mean, are you really opening up a little bit more emotionally maybe than you were on the first record or not?
The first record was pretty personal.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a little bit more going on story-wise, personally, on this record. So,
right.
But everything on the first record is all personal. Maybe it's just not as deep.
Okay.
But yeah, on this record, I cut myself open when I write. And if I'm writing, a lot of times if I just have to write music for any particular band I'm in, or if I come up with like a lyric idea, not necessarily like in Trixter, I'm not writing the lion's share of the music. Steve's already the guy who will bring me, pretty well thought out ideas, and I'll just kind of, shape them up if need be at all, or, I'll throw him a riff or something, So I'm kind of auxiliary to a certain extent. But when I'm writing songs where I just get the guitar, I might get a melody, and all of a sudden, I got something to say. It's very personal.
Right on. And again, the record Accent the Change. What actually does the title mean? What is that? I mean, that sounds like a musical thing.
It is.
Or is it? Yeah, because I mean, it could have a double meaning, kind of, right?
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of. I mean, I thought it was just. I love the phrase because using like drummers are always told, all right, let's take us to the bridge and let's do some accent the change there, so it's we know something big's coming. So it's a musical term, really, that you use to really kind of punctuate something new, a new part. But I thought it applied to the fact that the songs and the subjects on this record were very different from the first record, because so much has happened in between the time that I wrote the first record and this record that, a lot of big things have happened. So,
To you personally. Right. Yeah. Very good. Very good. And I mean, I got a list here of this stuff you've done and the stuff you have going on, and it's mind blowing how much stuff you're involved with. But you just real quick, you mentioned what you're working on with Chris Jericho, which we've heard some tracks and very cool stuff. Can you give us the update on that? And maybe explain it a little bit to somebody who might not know about the KISS project that you're working on with Chris?
Yeah, I'll try to do it in 30 seconds. So Ken just kind of sent Chris the intro to No, 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 just kind of kidding around. Him and Joe were thinking about recording it, just throwing it up on YouTube. So I sent him the intro, the drum thing, and he said, name this song. And Chris was like, no, no, no. You guys need a singer? And Ken was like, actually, yeah, and a bass player. So Chris immediately called me up because they had chosen No, No, No and Heart of Chrome. And then Chris was like, he knows I'm a huge KISS fan. Plus, I toured with him on the Revenge tour. He's like, no brainer. And Chris is a, go big or go home kind of guy. So instead of just throw this up on, YouTube and Facebook, it's like we're doing the video. We're going to have someone professionally edit it. We're going for a radio campaign. We're going to have Bruce Kueller come and do it with us. It's like, so it turned into a pretty big deal. I mean, I think we got to number 26 or something like that.
Yeah, it's great. Now, who are the guys on the Mr. Speed track? Is that you same guys, or is that some other people with you?
No, that's Charlie Benante, John Five, Joe McGinnis, and myself.
Yeah, okay. I thought that when I saw that when it originally came out, and I thought it was great. You guys have the masks on, and that is so cool. And I love that song, and you guys do a great version of that too.
Thanks. Yeah, it was the total opposite of Kuarantine. It was because Kuarantine's like a Bruce Kulick era, tribute, and we're allowed to kind of like update it a little bit,
Right.
Mr. Speed was like so close to the original, as close as you can, I thought you can possibly get.
Yeah. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Cool. You want to go ahead, John, or?
Yeah. So PJ, I wanted to. I don't know if I should even bring this up because I cannot believe that this happened. It's not your fault. The distribution company put like the wrong. I don't know if it's called a QR code. And when your album came out on Apple Music and some of the other ones, the track "Wait and Fade" was somebody else's version of "Wait and Fade." Now, A, I would have freaked out, and B, how long did it take him to fix that?
Well, it's funny. So I was on the road. I was in, and here's where I should have known it was going to happen. I was in Cleveland in 2020.
Right.
Fucking record didn't stand a chance coming out right. So yeah, it's called an IRSC code. If I have those letters right, every song has a code attached to it, and when you go to release it and upload it to all digital platforms, you got to type in those codes. Well, Wait and Fade just happened to have 2 off numbers. And it opened my record. So people are going to go, they're waiting to listen to your album. They get the first song and it's not your album, it's somebody else. Here's the funny thing. And a little bit sad and partially annoying. So I get up that morning, and I'm getting all these comments, people, congratulating me and, loving the record and everything. So like 10 o'clock in the morning, I go into Apple Music. I'm like, it's cool. Let me go look at it on iTunes and everything, like a little kid. And I go play it and I go, what did I just hit? I go, what the hell is this? And I go into Apple Music and same thing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I go back and I play it and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I call my label. I'm like, guys, what the fuck is going on with Wait and Fade? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, check the digital. So I started putting out fires, and finally one of my friends texts me, goes, love the record, dude. Is that you singing on the first song?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, then about an hour later, I'm kind of talking myself off the ledge going, oh my God, the first song, first fucking song, the reveal, the whole, that's the tone. People don't know what to expect from me to begin with. Let alone, you want to come out strong. You want to come out with something that I've been thinking about for 2 fucking years. Like you set the pace. I'm very particular about sequencing. I always use, like in any bands I'm in, I'm always writing. I write set lists. Sequence almost every record. It's like I am. I just have a anal thing about that. Like I need to feel it, and I get the vibe. And I sit with it, I go, this works. And to have that fucking blown was, so I'm like, okay, it'll be fixed tonight. Not everyone else, look, it's not, Sergeant Pepper's. People aren't, it's not going to,
Right.
We'll get them back. And then I start thinking, man, nobody said, what the hell is that first song?
Right.
Not one person goes, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
I still to this day haven't heard the whole song. I heard like 2 seconds of the singing and I'm like, what the hell? No. Yeah. And I'm like, God bless it, whoever it is, but it's not on it shouldn't be on my record.
Right.
And, nobody said to me, great record, man, but that first song is weird.
Yeah. You got a lot of plays for that guy.
Even including that first song. I like what you did, though. I think you did the right thing, and the only thing you could do at that point is you put a Facebook post out and you said, if you're not hearing this, that ain't my song. So, and then you just gotta kind of laugh and say, God, But I think everybody now, especially your true fans, they all know that there was a glitch, and now it's perfect and it's right. And
So, PJ, I wanted to ask you, our last guest a couple weeks ago was Lejean from Sevendust.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, because I honestly don't know, two questions that kind of relate to him. What is your actual history with Sevendust? Because I know there is some history there. And are you involved with his upcoming solo record that is coming out?
Well, he's working with Sahaj from Ra.
Okay.
Sahaj is writing with him and producing the record. I will be if you
okay.
Of course, Lejean, you got my number.
Right.
My history with Sevendust, God, I've known those guys forever. Back when most of them were in a band called what the hell was the name? Back in Atlanta, and they had opened for Trixter a couple times, and then I toured. Ra toured with Sevendust. Did a million shows with. We never did extensive touring with them.
Right.
But we played with them over the years so many times, and we toured with Clint and Dark New Day, and so we've just known those guys for a very long time.
Right. Cool. So it's just basically playing shows with them and touring with them. Yeah. And some other bands I wanted to throw out there, similar type of question, just the history you might have with them. Seether and Stained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, bands that Ra and Seether came out at the exact same time pretty much. And right at the time I joined, Ra had, I think, just finished a tour, a full-length tour with Seether, but we were doing, again, blocks of shows. We did do, was it Seether and Dark New Day tour? But also countless amount of 3-4 day runs, and then festivals, and then a couple day runs and stuff. So Ra and Seether came up neck and neck together, and kind of rode the elevator up, and then they obviously kept going up higher and higher. And Stained as well. Stained was one of those bands that we were playing with very often in the festivals, and New England band, and Rob broke out of New England, so there's a lot of camaraderie there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now I've seen you guys before on various tours, and one of the tours was the Kiss Revenge tour. And I know that Steve still keeps in touch with all those guys and with Doc McGee. And tell us a little bit about doing a tour with Kiss. I know you guys were big Kiss fans. How was that?
Yeah, it was although we had great success prior to getting that tour, once we got the Kiss tour, we were we in our heads jumped a level, because it was that was the thing we'd say growing up. We go on tour with Kiss, we're playing with Kiss, every kid's dream. So when we got it and we said, well, we're going on tour with Kiss, and today I got a thing. Today was the first day of the Revenge tour at Stabler Arena.
Yeah. Mark and I were at that gig.
We were there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. And it was a Thursday, October 1st. So walking into the Stabler Arena that day and seeing the Kiss, road cases, we were for a minute, I forgot what I was going to do. Just riding the bus, blah, blah, blah. Here we are on tour again. And I'm, shit, Kiss. Yeah. That's pretty fucking cool.
Right.
And then every day we just, never got tired of it.
Right on.
Did you guys watch the Kiss show too most of the time?
Every day. Every day.
That's really, really cool. That's great. And do you still keep in touch with those guys? The people on that tour?
Yeah, we're all for the most part, either social media friends or whatnot, or we just happen to see each other,
PJ, you're in Jersey now. What part of Jersey? You don't have to tell the exact city, but are you in North Jersey or South Jersey or?
I'm in South Jersey now. I'm in Ocean County now. I finally made the move about 3.5 years ago from North Jersey, born and raised Bergen County, and then I was living up in Wayne about almost 15 years, Wayne and Riverdale after that. And finally just came down south to the beach.
Right on.
Because we're both in Jersey as well. I'm in Hudson County. And Mark, are you in Hudson or the next county over?
Essex County.
County.
Yeah, Essex County. So, PJ, thanks for sharing those Trixter Kiss memories with us. To kind of go back into, I'm assuming that's sort of same era. Trixter also did some shows with, or maybe a full tour, you can tell me, with Warrant. And I was wondering if you had any memories that you could share from your time on the road with Warrant.
I don't remember anything from that tour.
Really?
You guys were partying, right?
Yeah, that was a memorable tour for all bands involved. We had just done a whole Talk is Jericho podcast. Me, Steve, Eric Turner, and Bill Leverty just talking about that whole tour, because that was probably all of our collective favorite tours. It was just,
What year was that?
91.
91, okay.
Summer of 91. So it was just like 4 or 5 months. It was supposed to be 3. It kept getting extended because it was just so successful. And all bands were peaking. We were just, firing on all cylinders. And we just got along so great day one. And that was like the epitome of a rock and roll tour. Just really sold out, great fans, no drama, just the way it should be.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
So, PJ, I want to take it back to the new record, and there was a song that I really liked. One of my favorite songs off of the new record is "Chokehold," and it's got some really cool riffs in it. And just, can you specifically tell me about that track? That's just one specific track I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah, that's actually a song that I wrote to have. So we've been kicking around ever since I'm sure we're going to touch on this in a minute. Steve and I played with Eric Martin from Mr. Big.
Right.
And we've been playing together for a couple of years now. And we're like, come on, let's do a record. That's right. Let's do something with this, And so that was a song that I wrote. Essentially, I wrote the music for it, and it just had this swagger. I'm like, oh, this is fucking Eric Martin all over it, And then I was gonna send it to him and say, write to it, just finish it, do what you do. And then before I knew it, I came up with the chorus. I was like, oh shit, I don't want to do it anymore, because now I'm gonna get married to that chorus and I want him to do it. I'm like, fuck, that chorus is awesome, and it just came to me so quick. I'm like, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm dropping it. And then the longer it sat, the more I just kept going back to it and like going. I'm like, shit, it's writing itself. I can't stop, So, I just kind of took it and ran with it, and then you changed it a little bit. And, but yeah, I had him in mind originally for that.
Very good. And we're talking about.
It would have sounded so much better had he been singing that, because, even the melody that came so organically to me, it's just got his, vibe to it. But fuck.
Right.
Well, Mark, I know you have a question. Go ahead, Mark, and then I want to follow up with another question about something on the album. So, Mark.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to remind people we're talking with PJ Farley, and the new album is Accent the Change. It's up on Apple Music, Spotify, and I assume you can buy hard copies like on Amazon or something, PJ?
Amazon or the label highvolmusic.com. But yeah, anywhere you go get music these days.
And I do want to, as you mentioned, get into a little bit of the Eric Martin stuff that you're doing. But first, before we do that, John, let's stay on the new album. I just
want to stay on this because you were playing on your Facebook page a mandolin, which I think is great. And I've got one hanging here, but I only know Stonehenge and one song, and that's it from Spinal Tap. So, but you were playing, I think it was either You Would Know or The Good Life, the beginning of it. What was that you were playing?
It was for You Would Know.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Right.
Yeah, I was in Nashville recording that, and it was just mandolin hanging up in the back, and I had that riff, but I didn't want it to just be like a guitar riff, like a kind of metally. I'm like, I need to do something to take it out of that guitar riff. I don't want that sound. And I was like, I don't know how to play this thing. I'm like, this sounds cool. I'll put it over this, and I'll put something else behind it. So that's about the extent of my mandolin playing. What you saw right there.
Well, I think
able to
you
get that riff down.
That's all you need, one riff. But like I said, I got a mandolin and I can only play one song.
Right. Sounds so cool though.
Yeah, totally. Okay, Mark. So yeah, I definitely also wanted to talk about what you're doing with Eric Martin and Steve Brown, and I think that's very cool. And I know actually you did some stuff even without Steve with Eric Martin. But why don't you talk about the whole thing? And I know Mark has some specific questions.
Yeah, so it started about 4 years ago. Eric had a tour of Japan booked. He needed a band, so he called us. And then the promoters got wind that it was Steve and I, and they were like, oh my God, that's great. You can do some Trixter. And Eric has always been like our biggest cheerleader. Always been a huge fan of Trixter and everything that Steve and I have done over the years. My solo stuff, 40 Foot Ringo. And he's like, dude, we need to do some Trixter. We need to do that huge Stick Out song. We need to do a 40 Foot Ringo song. And we were like, wow. I mean, we were totally cool just going to be his backup band, just, sitting in the background and, it's his show. He's Mr. Budokan. And he was like, no, man, we got to do it. We're going to have fun with it. And then it just came out great. It was so much fun. So we took it to the States and we've been doing that for a couple of years. And then about 2 years ago, he asked me he was doing like acoustic solo shows and he just doesn't like playing solo. He's like, dude, come out with me, and, just kind of add some, just be there with me. And so we go out and we do a bunch of shows. It was just two of us. And now we have a percussionist by the name of Ben Hands, who plays with Kip Winger on his acoustic dates. So it's kind of a trio now, which is cool. There's a little rhythm to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And also wanted to mention that you spent some time with Lita Ford. You played in her band for quite a while, right? A number of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And any highlights from that part of your career? Any Lita highlights you could share with us?
Well, for one, it was great because it was my first time going to Europe. Because Trixter, Rod, anything I'd done,
really?
No bands have ever gone to Europe.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, tell me about it. So I mean, I've been doing it long enough. I'm like, shit.
Right.
So the first thing we did was, we did a couple shows in California, but like I got the call, flew down to our house a day later. And the day after that, we flew to California, did like 2 or 3 shows, went back to our house for a day, and then flew to Europe for like 2 or 3 weeks and did all the summer festivals and stuff, which was like, I had never experienced the European festivals, as they say.
Right.
Such an experience over there. So cool, great lineups. I mean, we did Gods of Metal in Milan with Motley, Heaven and Hell's was one of Dio's last shows, Tesla, Queensryche, and God, somebody else was all in one bill. It was like,
wow.
Yeah, so we opened for Journey the next night.
Wow.
In Germany. I mean, it was like really cool. And so that was a highlight for me. She's great. She's a legend. So it was, very cool to be a part of that. And a great band too. I mean, I had, Bumblefoot was in the band for a while. Then Mitch Perry was in the band, and then Gary Hoey. So, I mean, it was like a lot of talent.
Great musicians, yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. That is cool. So I got a funny thing, but I'm going to save it for the end of the interview. But I got a question. You have such cool stuff in your room, and I've seen that room on some of your videos, and I saw you have a couple of cool Kiss things, and then you have this one thing that looks like I wanted to ask about the Kiss stuff, and then is that like an Ampex award, behind you?
Yep.
Yeah, like an Ampex tape award. Like that is very cool. But
yeah, you're not going to see those anymore.
I know. Yeah, and for all of you youngsters out there, we're talking about actual physical tape.
Yeah. And
Ampex was a company that made the tape, and I know that I've seen other award plaques like that. So I think that's very cool.
It's funny. Like I keep forgetting about that, and I was doing one of these with Dave Ellefson, and he's like, "Is that an Ampex award back there?"
Well, I swear to God, I didn't see that, but that's so cool.
That was good. But it's a conversation piece for the people. When you know.
Yeah. And now,
I did not know.
Yeah. What was the framed Kiss? There was something I saw that you had framed. Maybe it was from was it a tour advertisement or was it like a record plaque?
Yeah, it was I don't know if you can see it. It's a Revenge tour poster.
Oh, nice. That is great. Yeah, and what a great day. I mean, literally, I lived in, I guess, Manhattan at the time, and Mark and I don't even know how we got there. Mark, did you drive or did we take a bus or what? How did we get to the state?
I drove. Yeah, I drove. Yeah, I was still living at my parents' house in New Jersey. So you took the train out from there, and we drove cross Jersey to PA to that show, and that was a great night.
Yeah, we had a great time, and it was great seeing you guys. And that was the first show of the tour, so it was such a special night.
Yeah,
it was very, very cool.
I think Here came out that day, or close to it.
What did?
Exactly. Our second.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
It's funny though.
Second Trixter record.
Yeah, Trixter record Here came out. I think that same
on
day.
The same day. Yeah, that's cool.
Somebody Google that. I don't know.
Right.
I'm sorry. My ears are bad. I actually didn't hear what you said.
It was perfect.
Well, PJ, I don't want to keep you very much longer. You've been very gracious with your time tonight, but we did want to remind everyone, again, the new album, Accent to Change, it's out now. Definitely pick it up. PJ Farley of Trixter fame and so much more. And just before we let you go, how are you doing through this strange time in history emotionally? And you hanging in there and everything okay with you and your loved ones?
Yeah, I mean, ironically, I almost feel guilty because I've been, a lot of great things have come of this, whole scenario. I mean, aside from perspective, appreciation and all that good stuff that I think we all needed so much, just like opportunities and new relationships, like the project Kuarantine with Chris, although me and Chris have been friends for years, I would have never met the rest of the guys, Kent and Joe from the classic 78 then. John.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Those guys are great.
We interviewed them at the Kiss Expo. Yeah.
Yeah. That project never would have happened. The thing with, Charlie and John 5, that would have never happened. And really, I was touring with Fozzy last month, and still got stuff coming up. And that's because, their bass player doesn't want to really do anything because of what's going on. So that opportunity came to me. So I've been doing Fozzy too. And and then just being able to be at my house for like 5 months straight. Like I started touring again in August. But up until then, it was like I got home like March 14th or something. And then I was home until about August 6th. And like, that's unheard of, you know?
Right.
So it was just like time at home, but productive time at home, where it's like, normally it's like, I'm home, I'm spending time, I got the kids, my wife's working or something, or even if it's a normal day, I got gigs locally or something, or I got the kids, or I'm not really getting as much done as, I would have liked to. But with this, we're just locked in the house. I'm like, okay, now we're all home. I mean, I'm able to just, I was able to write more, I was able to finish the record, I only had 2 more songs to do, so I got that in. And but yeah, I mean, a lot of good things came of it. I mean, I had a false positive for COVID.
Wow.
That was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. But
you tested positive, but you didn't have it.
Right.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Right before I was going on tour with Fozzy. And I was the one who told Fozzy, let's all get tested before we get on the bus together.
Oh, no.
Probably the right thing to do. And I'm the one that came back positive. But
did you still go on the tour, or did they retest you?
I did, because I tested, and then 9 days later, they gave me my results. So
right.
The health department calls me and they're like, all right, well, how you feeling? I'm like, fine and skeptical. How are you? I'm like, I have no symptoms. I'm like, I'd like to get tested again. Like, oh, well, we won't do that. I'm like, well, why not? Like, because you tested positive. I'm like, yeah, but I don't believe it. And my wife's negative. My neighbors who I quarantined with, basically, nobody's sick. in my neighborhood. So I want a second opinion. Like, we can't do it. I'm like, so that's it. Got your money kind of thing, right?
Right.
But so I was out of isolation a day later anyway. So go figure, it really did nothing because I was still around people not knowing. Because not like I got tested because I was symptomatic. But so I went on tour, came home. Once I came home, I didn't know that I was false positive. I just figured, all right, well, good. Now I have the antibodies.
Antibodies, right.
I was playing Sturgis. I was
right.
going into, some areas. So when I came home, I was like, good, now I don't really have to quarantine because I got the thing, but I got tested immediately, came back negative. And right after that, I was going back out to tour with Eric for a couple shows, came back, got another test, negative. So as I assumed, then about after a month from testing.
Now, when you say negative, but you weren't tested for the antibodies. You were just
okay, up the brain.
Right.
And then so after a month's time since I first tested, I got the antibody test and it was negative.
Wow. So you didn't, that proves that you didn't have it, because if you had it, you would have had the antibodies.
Right.
Right.
Enough time had passed to where if I had it back then, they would have built up. And so.
Wow. What an ordeal.
And nobody around me. I had to be the douche on the block going, hey guys, I know,
Yeah, I might have it, right?
We all quarantined together and everything. And,
right.
Well, now you all got to get it tested. And nobody had it. So.
Nobody had it.
Wow. All right.
So, we got one of our viewers right now on the Zoom just said that he's happy to hear that there were some positive things that came out of this for you and for everybody. One being able to, you got a lot musically done. You got a chance to spend some time with your family. And unlike some people, you made the best of this situation and it worked. And that was good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and I the first probably week or two of it, I wrote a song. It just flushed right through, the song called Slow that's on the record.
Right.
And it's like, it just, kind of the perspective thing and the appreciation thing. That's what it's all about, And I'm just as guilty as the next person of on the go. And then, if you just take a step back and you go, what else do I need? But I'm good, Slow down a minute,
Right.
So PJ, I'm going to tell you the funny thing, and I hope this makes you laugh. Back in the day, all of us rockers, hard rockers, we want to look cool. And I was totally jealous of your hair. Like, out of anybody in Trixter, you had the coolest hair.
Did you take it?
Yeah, no.
I'll take it back.
Yeah. You're still cool no matter what. But yeah, I swear to God, I would look at those pictures. I'd be like, man, look at that guy. I want that haircut.
John, you're not alone. Everybody loved my hair. Fabio loved my hair. Nothing good lasts forever, man.
Right.
I know.
You still got a great look, man.
Yeah, you look cool.
Definitely got a hip look going on. So you don't need the hair.
I was out to Detroit the other night, and I didn't wear a white V-neck. I wore a black crew neck. And Eric, Ben, every person who I walked past in the club, I'm like, wait, where's your shirt? Fucking Fozzy with his leather jacket or something.
Yeah. Where's your signature shirt?
A white V-neck shirt. I'll never do it again. I promise.
I have seen pictures of you in I believe, a black V-neck too, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
My closet's 50-50.
Right. Okay.
Black shirts matter, Mark.
Right. There you go. Cool. Thank you for joining us, PJ. Again, the new record, Accent to Change, is awesome. We highly recommend it. And any place you like people to get in touch with you on social media, what's the best?
Yeah, I would say Instagram is probably the best because there's no limit. I have a PJ Farley music page on Facebook that is sorely underused because of me. But I probably have 2,000 or something pending requests on my personal Facebook,
right,
which was always like my first go-to. And
I wish they would
have a music page, So, Instagram, you could easily follow me there, and then
cool.
That's instant too. So, and I have a website, pjfarley.net. So, yeah, I'm available.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, PJ. We appreciate your time tonight.
Good chat.
Yeah, absolutely, PJ. We love the new record. We
Thanks, man.
love to hear your style, your solo style, which is really a whole nother dimension from like the heavy metal type stuff that some people who are Trixter fans know that you do. And I love that this record's even more personal than anything you've done before.
Yeah.
And we think it's great. And we're going to encourage everybody to go out and support you and buy this album.
And my daughter did the album cover.
Oh, really?
I
Wow.
was going to ask you. I love the album cover. I really. That's one of my questions I forgot to ask you. Who did the cover? So your daughter did that. That's amazing.
She's 9 now, but she did it last year when she was 8, and I still haven't told her yet because I'm waiting to give her like a CD. So
right.
She's like this artist, like in the truest sense. She's like, artists are like, oh my God, what you did is amazing. And it's a piece of shit. We all hate our work, and so she's either gonna flip on me or so that's why I'm thinking. I'll give her a CD, so it's like this real cool thing, plus $100 for her
payment,
services,
and go, hey, so now and like, look, you're on my guitar picture, on my T-shirts, you're everywhere. You're a published artist now, and she's going, Daddy, why would you do that? Oh yeah, have an 8-year-old do your record. That's real smart.
Right.
I think it's great. I mean, I can't even. I'm looking at the cover right now. I was going to say, I love that you picked that cool picture and the eye and.
She was all about painting eyes and drawing eyes and sketching and shading. And I just saw this one. I'm like, I'm taking that for my fucking cover. I'm not even telling her.
That's great.
I didn't
really
ask
has
her to do
talent.
that. I just took that one that she happened to do.
And $100 for a 9-year-old. That's good money.
Yeah.
It's good money for me.
I'm getting the dad discount.
Yeah. There you go.
I love it.
Cool.
Well, congratulations to both of you guys. And PJ, I hope to see you in person sometime soon. I was down at Mark Weiss's house a couple of weeks ago, and he said you had done a photo session with him. And maybe I don't know if you're ever going to are you going to go check out the museum?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe I'll see you at the benefit coming up in October or this month, like in a couple of weeks. So
it's October now. Yeah. Yeah. When is it?
I think it's like the 17th or the 14th. It's somewhere in that time period. So in about 2 weeks from now. So maybe we'll see each other down there.
Cool. Right on. That'd be great.
Okay. Great. PJ, thank you so much for spending the time with us. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, please. We'll see you in person soon, I hope.
Oh, I'm out. I'm out and about, man. I got my mask on, my hand sanitizer. I'll give you an elbow, whatever. I'm living. So we'll see you out there.
Cool. All right, man.
I am definitely living too. So I think that's great.
Yeah. All right, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thanks a lot, PJ. Take care.
All right, PJ.
Hey, that was a great interview.
Yeah, very good, very good. Covered a lot. Yeah, and I know we had him for like 20 to 30 minutes, and we were at about 50. So
we kept him about a half hour longer, and it was great. And we actually.